You're on.
Hey there.
You're on.
Hi there. Thanks for checking in to this, our latest conversation. We're three Black grad grads just talking photography. My name is Kenneth Nelson. I'm here with my good friends, Mark Skinner and Greg Cleghorn. We're all graduates of the Fine Art Photography program at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York, and each of us has decades of professional photography in various sectors of the commercial photography world. Getting straight to the point of this episode, I have questions for you to ponder, as I usually do. First question: are you a unique individual? Second question: is each photograph you've ever taken totally different from another and therefore unique in itself? They're unique to you, but what about other people? Put another way, are each of your photographs a continual sequel of the same movie? Imagine a 5,000th sequel of any particular movie. Can you maintain interest in, say, the Fast and the Furious sequel number 36? Of course, photographs are not movies, but they are visual art, subject to the same whims and fancies of the viewing public. So, with that mindset, um, we're going to speak to uniqueness that we ourselves see in ourselves, but we also have to maintain the objective nature of other people's seeing our images as unique in itself as well. So it's a very tricky situation. You have to know a lot in order to understand the uniqueness of what it is you're creating. So with that, Mark is first to go up with unique. Younique. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, now when you first proposed this idea, I thought about all the things you talked about, and I produced a photo that was sort of unique to me in that it kind of represented me. But I didn't think that was really fair to your question. I mean, I guess what you're really talking about is, do you have a unique style? Is there something that is a continuum throughout your entire work? And when I really simplified it, and after taking a nap, I went and found another one of my pageant photos. So if you can post that photo.
Okay.
This is a model who we did this photo as a series of photos for a pageant, right? And this was a headshot that was done as part of the prize package for the people who'd won that particular pageant. This was in New Jersey. This photograph was done in someone's front yard. That foliage that you see in the background really existed, and we put lights in the front yard and we photographed this individual. We set up a table and set up a chair, and we created a set right there. This is all live. I didn't Photoshop the flowers or anything like that. This is a live model in a live set. Now, having said that, what I discovered when I was looking through the photographs was that no matter what the genre is, no matter what it is I photograph, uh, they're unique because the subject is different usually. There are times when if I photograph someone that too close in proximity to photographing them previously, like within a few months, I don't feel that I can really give them something super unique because they haven't changed that much. But otherwise, every photograph I create is unique. I'm such a generalist at this point that everything is really very, very much informed by the art history and the aesthetical choices that was taught at Pratt. But for the most part, uh, because I tend to use a lot more of the suite of tools that are available to photographers, uh, you know, the real tools, not just the retouching things, but the real tools and grip work, grip and lighting and lens comparisons, things like that. I really think about what I do. I would say that they're all unique, but ultimately they do become my photos. And so, ultimately this is just kind of symbolic of the type of work that I do. Another thing that makes me unique is that if I photograph an individual, I take gear with me. I don't just show up with a camera and go, oh look, there's a sunny spot, let's take a picture, unless that's something we said we were going to do. I usually try to augment the light that's there, or use to modify it with either a screen or a reflector, or in many cases another light to kind of you know get some shape to the light, or to just quite honestly flatter the subject if it's a model. If it's a street photo, obviously I don't do that. But for the most part, what makes it unique is that everything I do is informed by the art education that I got, but I try to use technical proficiency to execute the intention of the photograph well. That's really it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, good. So what I'll do is we'll keep this short, and we'll just have everybody present. If there's a couple of questions at the end, we can ask questions at the end. So that means that I'm up next. And so what I wanted to do was, as for myself, I'm always looking at photographs, and I'm always comparing myself to other photographs that are out there. And so I'm always challenging myself to not see the way other people see, but to see in my own way, or to consider things that I've never considered before, and use techniques that I've never used before to do something with. So with that, I'm going to show you a 1 minute video, and just take a look at the video, and just take a look and see.
Are you going to narrate these in?
I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. Just want to let you know what I've done. Greg, you're fine. I had my mic off. So what I wanted to do is just stretch the imagination a little bit. And of course, time lapse is not something new, but time lapse usually is used to compress time. I've used time to expand it. So what I've done is I've taken the course of an hour and I've expanded it. So what you would normally see is one image, and you can't indicate an hour within one image, but I tried to indicate 1 hour in 10. So what I did was I took the 10 shots over the course of an hour and showed you that hour in 1 minute, compressed down, but it's actually an hour. So those are what happens in my mind. So I just wanted to explain that to you.
I think it's a nice video. I wish you had told me that I could show more than one photo. You specifically told me I could only use one photo.
Well, well,
Well, I would tell my range, but that's neither here nor there. You
yeah.
guys or something. Anyway, I think it's a really great sense of time lapse. How is what you're doing unique to your photographic experience, or the photographic experience?
Oh, well, again, it just expanding. Well, again, it's time lapse. So the time lapse is the photographic technique, and time lapse is usually used to compress time and speed it up so that you're seeing long time over a short period of time. And what I've done is, sure, you're seeing an hour in 1 minute, but you're actually seeing an hour. You're seeing the hour not compressed in microseconds, but in 6 minute increments. So it's not the same. It's not the same process. It's the same technique, but not the same thought behind it. It's different. And I don't know of anyone else who's doing time lapse to a point where they're compressing a few images into an exploded hour. Just imagine doing a time lapse, a 10-hour time lapse with you. Well, you could sort of do it, but I don't know if anyone would find it effective to do that. But I've just done it.
Well, I think it's because your subject matter has so much dynamism and within an hour. I think usually with time lapse photography, it lends itself towards, natural settings and natural occurrences that we don't tend to notice growing plants, changing skies, things of
Yeah.
that nature.
Yeah.
So I think with a street scene, I mean, I have seen a lot of that, which that's not either here nor there, but I guess what the idea is, what is it about that particular hour that makes that particular hour special for that
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
photography?
And that is the interesting thing about it, because it's about a couple of things. It's about motion, it's about light, it's about time, it's about um, serendipity, and that would be the top of the list, serendipity, because our thought processes are every moment in life has to be sort of special and different. But the fact is, when we photograph, we're all photographing the decisive moment. And to some degree, the decisive moment is fine, but those moments between the decisive moments can be interesting too. Now, if you look at one decisive moment, may not be. But if you look at a series of moments in between the decisive moments, then you begin to tell a story.
I know serendipities used to hang out on Fulton Street.
Greg, I didn't say that again.
I said, I know serendipities used to hang out on Fulton Street. Uh,
Okay, Greg, it's your turn now. Let's
it's
speak
my
yours.
turn. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, unique. Thanks, Nelson, for this interesting topic. You've done it again. You've even made Mark smirk, which is a feat in itself. Anyway, you can put my picture up.
No, it was your comment that made me smirk. Go ahead.
Oh, you know the street I'm talking about, Fulton Street. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Fulton
Anyway,
Street every day now. Go ahead.
um, I guess what makes my photography unique to me, I like to, I'm kind of like an observational photographer, and I'll see something, and I'm like, that's kind of nice, but by itself, it's like, ho hum, so sometimes I'll see stuff, and then I'll try to make it relate to something else. If I can make something and then put them together in the same frame, the combination of them, of the two, makes it a unique image. A relationship, a tug, a push and pull, a what is that dynamic, visual dynamic thing? A dominant, subdominant image. Um, and the visual tension. There we go. The visual tension. I like visual tension in an image, and I look for that. And sometimes I'll see it, and like in this image, I'll see something that's like a hot topic, like these fires up here in Northern California, and how they're we got the broad daylight, but it's not sunset. That's how the sun looks. You guys had some of that when the smoke blew all the way from California to New York. Here, the sky was orange and the sun was red. And I've been walking past this park for some time. I got a basketball court, but I've never seen anybody play. So I just kind of went on by. And this day I saw this peculiar structure, kind of reminded me of like Japanese stuff. And then I saw the sun, and I was like, let me see. And I walked around, and I tried to find a clearing and everything. And I put these two together, and I kind of liked it. For me, it was unique. I look for unusual things that kind of make me gasp for air, just take my breath away a little bit, and this one kind of does. So um, I like what you said about uh, the time and the place where you took those that series of images. And normally, most folks would do for time lapse, they do a dissolve to a dissolve to a dissolve, but just that you did like the jump cuts and made it jarring, and it was to the next. Like Mark was talking against it, but you elevated that place and that moment into something important because you chose it. And I felt that was kind of what made that unique. And I like that in it. Similar to this, I didn't no Photoshop, no mumbo jumbo, just put a little vignette on it. But this quirky tree, this quirky sculpture, and a real time uh, wildfire, smoky sky. It really kind of did it for me. So I look for that. I look for that. I look for that. I like finding unusual things, and I feel that's what makes some of my work, if not most of my work, my better work, unique. Thanks again, Nelson. I like you keep coming up with these things. I don't you ever stop. Yeah, and I'm like rolling on the bus. I would take this mask off, but little band-aid when you're traveling. I'm
No,
on
don't worry about it. We understand
West
you're on a bus.
Bakersfield. I don't know why I didn't fly, but Spirit, the airline thing. I'm not going to take yeah, it's a nice little ride. It's fun. Thanks for the topic, Ken.
No worries. Thanks. Okay. All right. Mark, you have anything in closing?
No, I wish I'd known you were going to show more than one image, though, because I would have demanded that get you show the other image I posted.
Oh.
However,
So we need to see more
that's
portraits.
okay. Yeah, I
Mark,
didn't. You
going
showed.
forward, if it's one video or one image, they will be considered the same. So,
Oh, okay. All
all
right.
right, as
Well.
long as it's not a 20-minute video.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna get some popcorn and no. I just wish I'd known. It's all right. Anyway, you guys, no, that's it. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna belabor the point. I agree with Ken. I think I would Greg rather. Excuse me. Well, Ken. I think it's a nice pick, and I think you picked a nice subject. It was very difficult to select. It was very difficult to do.
Yeah.
But once you kind of really boil it down to what makes you you. I mean, like I said, I at my price point, there are very few people who put in the kind of effort that I put in. So it's a lot. So there you go.
Okay. Okay. Greg, anything closing?
Well, I wanted to ask Mark. I mean, do you ever consider like doing any gel work? Because I mean, the portraits are in a deep depth of field. Why did you choose to shoot such a deep depth of field? The tree was in focus. There was I don't see the uniqueness to it. Maybe you can explain that. No gels,
Well,
just a pure white light.
see, here's the thing. Had I had an opportunity to show more than one photograph, I could have shown the uniqueness and how my images tend to tie together all the way through. There is sort of a continuum, and it's always informed by art history and photography, and even the street photography. There's a lot of, a lot. There's a lot of that. But my photograph of an individual isn't unique because it's an individual, because they've been portraits for hundreds of years, particularly the kind of portraits we do or in Western culture. So it's very difficult to take one individual and say, aha, it's completely unique, unless you make a point to have them in some custom made outfit with custom made set. Having said that, the uniqueness is in the fact that the photographs that I do tend to be a little timeless. I do put in effort that is far, far, far above the pay rate. I mean, I really do, put lights and everything. I really make a point to get, professional grade photos for people, even though most people would just sort of, put something on an umbrella, put a light on an umbrella, or even just bring a reflector card and go, hey, okay, that's it. So I'm much better at providing the full experience. But I don't think most photographers are steeped in the art history and the aesthetics that we have been steeped in, having gone to Pratt. So I think that provides a sort of an artistic advantage for me. And it does provide a uniqueness, and there is a continuum. If you look at the work, there's a visual continuum, but it's hard to show in one photo.
Okay.
And that's why I can't produce a film with several photos. So
yeah,
if you showed one of those images, people would go, well, why? But to show 10 of them, you kind of go, oh, okay, I get it. There's an idea about this time passing that's shown in these photographs. And so consequently, if I were able to do that with several photographs, even with several genres, and I could say, well, you can see the continuums, the throughput, the aesthetic throughput in that. That's it.
Okay.
I think what he was saying is the body of work that qualifies as one unit. And I kind of like that. So I'm done. That's good stuff. So we can't wait for the next one.
Okay. Okay. So with that, I just want to leave people with the notion, and again, viewers out there, and when I create these ideas, of course, we're talking about with among the three of us, but these ideas are meant to stroke thought in you, the viewer out there, and no matter what experiences you've had, I'm sure that the three of us can come up with some ideas as to expanding the thought process within photography. We have years of artistic background, so I think we have something to contribute. Greg, you have something to say?
Wrap it up. No, wrap it up. I'm going through the mail.
Okay, all right. With that, thanks for joining us. I'm Kenneth Nelson with Greg Blakemore and Mark Skinner for the Three Black Grads. Join us on our next episode. We'll be up in a couple of days. Until then, bye bye for now.